Good day, and welcome to Hiroshima University's English Podcast.
広島大学イングリッシュポッドキャスト異文化ディスカッションへようこそ。この番組異文化ディスカッションでは広島大学に学ぶ留学生をゲストに招き、東広島での学生生活や身近な話題について英語で話してもらいます。さて、ニュージーランド出身のアナとアメリカ出身のマーティーンを迎えてのトークも最終回となりました。今回の話題はニュージーランドとアメリカで最近人気の映画。聞き手は広島大学のジョー・ラウアーさんです。それではごゆっくりどうぞ。
Hi everyone, thank you for coming to our cross-culture talk this month. And it's a great pleasure for us to welcome our two guests.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Anna.
And you're from, again?
America.
I'm from New Zealand.
And how long have you studied Japanese? Did you study back in your home countries?
Yeah, I actually started studying Japanese in high school.
Oh, wow.
I was one of 4 high schools in the state of Wisconsin that had Japanese, so I think I've been studying about 6 or 7 years now.
Okay. And Anna, how long have you been studying Japanese?
I've been studying for about 7 years.
Oh.
But I took a break for a couple of years, so I forgot everything.
Okay.
So I'm not actually that good.
Wow. So, junior high schools in New Zealand and America sometimes teach Japanese?
Not that I know of.
It's pretty rare.
Even in high school or college, it's...
Even high school, it's kind of rare?
Yeah, my high school, like I said, was only, like, one of 4 out of, like, 500 high schools in our state.
Pretty rare, right?
So, yeah.
I actually learned Japanese when I was in school in England.
Okay.
And I think it's not that common, really, to have Asian languages taught in England.
Okay.
It's more common in New Zealand because we have a lot more Asian immigrants there.
Okay. And what kind of experiences have you had learning Japanese? Is it really hard, or what are parts of it easy, even?
For me, my first 2 years in high school were extremely easy. I kind of caught on to the writing system really quick, hiragana and katakana, and like basic verb patterns. But then once I got into college, it was quite a change, and Japanese became a lot more difficult, like daily kanji or grammar quizzes, having to know particles and kanji radicals. So yeah, I kind of wish I could go back to high school when I was good at Japanese.
Wow, Matt, can you write Japanese too?
Yeah.
Wow, you can write pretty many kanji?
Maybe 400 or 500.
Wow, yeah, that's pretty unusual for North Americans. And Anna, what kind of experiences have you had learning Japanese?
I think I found it reasonably easy at the beginning as well, like Matt said. But then now it's gotten quite difficult. Because I also learned German and Spanish, and Japanese is definitely a lot harder for a native English speaker to learn than to learn those European languages, because European languages are so much more similar.
Today we're talking about popular movies these days in New Zealand and in America. And let's do a little countdown here, beginning with maybe your 5th favorite movie of all time. What would it be?
I think mine's probably The Terminator.
Okay.
It's about like a cyborg comes from the future to kill this guy because this guy, when he's older, he's going to lead the revolution, basically. And I'd say it's maybe not the most deep, meaningful film, but I just really enjoy it.
You thought it was interesting because it's exciting?
Just very fun, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I really like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's right. Okay,
really
good.
Cool.
And Matt, how about your 5th favorite?
I would say my 5th favorite movie right now is End of Watch, which is a fairly recent movie that came out in the U.S., which is about 2 young police officers who work in like a pretty intense like gang neighborhood in Los Angeles, and it basically shows how the 2 of them basically become like family or like brothers, and like all the sacrifices they make for each other. and it kind of shows a relatively accurate, like, day-to-day life of a Los Angeles street cop. I know the two actors actually trained with the Los Angeles Police Department for about a year or two prior to making the movie.
Wow.
So I'd like to believe it's fairly accurate.
Okay. Right, crime-fighting movies are always fun.
Yeah.
And how about number 4, Matt? What do you think?
Number 4 for me is a really old for me movie called Drumline, which I think came out in the year 2002.
Okay.
And it's basically about a young guy who goes off to school to join a marching band on a scholarship. And that's really all it's about. He plays the snare drum, and he has some troubles. But my mom used to be a music teacher, and I always wanted to play the drums when I was younger, and I do now. But yeah, that's probably why this movie's always been one of my favorites.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Good. How about you, Anna? Any things number 4?
Number 4, I've put Princess Mononoke.
Okay.
Or Mononoke Hime.
Okay.
So I think most of the listeners probably know it.
Okay, very good.
It's a Studio Ghibli film.
Very good.
About, how to explain it? It's set in feudal Japan. And it's about this woman who's been raised with wolves, and she's fighting against, like, the big industrial mining kind of people. Because they're sort of destroying the forest. And then there's this guy who's kind of trying to mediate between the two and have some kind of peaceful conclusion between them.
Okay. Okay. That sounds cool. And number 3, Anna, anything?
My third favorite is V for Vendetta.
Okay.
It's about
Lethal Vendetta.
V, like the letter V.
V
for
Vendetta. Right. Okay.
It's sort of based off the story, in a few hundred years ago in England,
Okay.
there was a guy called Guy Fawkes who tried to blow up Parliament. And then, so this film is set a little bit in the future, where there's this new, how do you call it? Someone who fights against the government. What's the word for it?
Like
a rebel?
Like a rebel or a radical?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this radical guy.
Revolutionary person?
Revolutionary, yeah.
Okay.
And he's sort of basing his ideas off this guy in the past, Guy Fawkes, trying to overthrow this new government who are really controlling the people. And yeah, it's quite exciting film.
Okay, good. And Matt?
My third favorite movie is Cool Runnings, which is a movie about like the first ever Jamaican bobsled team. And it's kind of funny. It's based on a true story, but of course Jamaica is a Caribbean island that never gets any snow. But there are a couple track stars who are trying to make the Olympic team, and there's an accident, and they're unable to make the track team, so they have to find another sport. And they like meet like a kind of like a bobsled god who coaches them and takes them to the Calgary Olympics. And they're not really seen as equals, so they kind of have to like fight their way and prove that, you know, they belong up there with the rest of the countries who can bobsled.
Okay, good. Yeah, stories based on real life events are always really good. Okay, we go to our top 2 now. Matt?
Did you do your third favorite?
Yes, he did.
Oh, okay.
Yes, she did.
My second favorite movie is Freedom Riders.
Freedom Riders,
which
okay.
is another movie that takes place in like poverty-bound Los Angeles. And this one's also based on a true story. And it's about a teacher fresh out of college who gets her first job teaching in Los Angeles, like I said. And she has a lot of students who are kind of just going to school so that they don't go to court for skipping. They really have no interest in learning. But she basically gives them a diary and tells them that they have to write something every day, and she doesn't actually read them. She's just going to check and see if the students have written anything. But then after that, some of the students feel more comfortable and start letting their teacher read what they've been writing, and she kind of finds out all these different things about our students, like if they're involved in gangs, like if they have parents still around, or if they've been killed. It's kind of a sad movie, but one of the, not the actors, but one of the guy who's portrayed in the movie actually came to my high school, and he's a motivational speaker now. So he came to my high school, I think my second or third year, and gave a talk kind of about the movie and what life was like back then, and how you should always, look up. You can always get better. So I had seen the movie quite a few times before I heard him talk, but after I actually met him, it made the movie a lot better for me.
Wow, it sounds very creative, right? And even interesting for me because it's about teaching and handling students and stuff like that. And number 2, Anna?
Interstellar.
Okay, Interstellar.
It's quite a recent movie. It's set a little bit in the future.
Okay.
Basically, there's some disease in the crops, so the earth is running out of food. So basically, everyone's going to die unless they find a new place to live. So this team of scientists, they send out an expedition to go through this like wormhole to try and check out a few planets and see if they're inhabitable.
Okay.
And I don't want to spoil the ending right
Okay,
now,
right.
But basically, it's just really cool, really beautiful sci-fi movie.
Okay, very good. So we've come to number 1 now. The drum roll, and your favorite movies of all time are?
My favorite movie of all time is called The School of Rock.
Okay.
And this is a movie that really has no meaning. It's kind of just like a family fun movie about like this guitar player in a band who's really going nowhere with his music. And his band kicks him out. And so he pretends to be his roommate and he becomes a substitute teacher. But instead of teaching the kids, he forms them into band to play in like a battle of the bands competition. And he's just teaching these 3rd grade kids in elementary school. So they're all 10 years old and they become like this amazing rock band and they go to the competition. But then of course some things happen along the way, which I won't spoil because everyone should watch this movie. It's the greatest of all time.
Wow.
But yeah, definitely my favorite.
Very good. And Anna?
My favorite is called The Dark Knight.
Okay.
It's a Batman film.
Okay.
Basically,
That's
like
super popular. Even I know that one.
Yeah. So if anyone listening hasn't watched it, you should really watch it.
Okay.
It's basically recently in the last 5-10 years they made 3 new Batman movies with
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger and Christian Bale playing Batman.
I haven't seen any of the Batman movies.
You haven't seen The Dark Knight?
I haven't seen a single Batman
watch
movie.
it. It's amazing. It's just so good.
Matt, why haven't you seen it?
I don't know. I guess I've never gotten around to it.
Okay, Anna?
Well, the first one's called Batman Begins, and then the second one is The Dark Knight.
Okay.
And in The Dark Knight, it's basically the Joker, the character of the Joker, who's played by Heath Ledger, and he's wreaking havoc as always. But Heath Ledger does such a good job playing the Joker. Like, it's just
Okay, very good, very good. Okay, just to summarize, can you tell me one more time the names of the 5 movies? Anna?
The Terminator,
Yes?
Princess Mononoke,
Uh-huh.
V for Vendetta,
Uh-huh.
Interstellar, and The Dark Knight.
Okay, and Matt?
End of Watch, Drumline, Cool Runnings, The Freedom Riders, and School of Rock.
Okay, thank you very much, Matt and Anna. We hope that all of our listeners out here have a chance to watch some of these movies and try to talk with your friends about the movies in English. And we're sure that your English ability will improve. And we'll see you next time at Hiroshima University's English podcast. Thank you very much, Matt and Anna. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
いかがでしたか？ハリウッドの大作から日本のアニメ映画まで、アナとマーティーンが様々なお気に入り映画を紹介してくれました。英語を勉強する上で映画は最高の教材です。皆さんも好きな映画を英語で繰り返し見て、 そのストーリーや魅力について英語で語れるようにしてみてはいかがでしょうか。それでは次の異文化ディスカッションまでごきげんよう。